Marilyn Monroe, the sex symbol of the 20th century. The most photographed woman of her day, Hollywood's superstar. Her performance on John F. Kennedy's birthday is legendary. Her death at the age of just 36 is tragic. The Marilyn Monroe brand, created for Hollywood, still dominates our image of her. But who was this woman really? Raised Norma Jeane Baker, she is a child of Hollywood. Her mother cuts films for the Dream Factory. She only learns about her father as an adult woman. Norma Jeane grows up in foster families and orphanages. She feels unloved and spurned. She will even speak of abuse later. Movies are her diversion. Young Norma Jeane is impressed by strong women on the screen. She is particularly enamored of Jeane. She will carry the spirit of this age all her life. She has nothing in common with crude 1940s and 50s America's traditional view of women. She will marry at 16 so that she does not have to return to the orphanage. At 18, she will be discovered as a photographer's model, a crucial turning point in her life. But she once more dreams of an acting career, gets divorced. At 20, she lands her first Hollywood contract as an emerging actor. It is a hard time, but she will stick it out. If anything, she is ambitious. She changes her name, her screen name being Marilyn Monroe from then on. The brand is born. Marilyn Monroe keeps evolving in the following years. She wants to be an actor, but becomes well aware early on that Hollywood is only interested in her beauty, her eroticism. Her agent Johnny Hyde pays for nose and chin jobs. He is infatuated with his client, leaves his family for Marilyn, wants to marry her. She turns him down. Even when he reveals to her that he will die soon and Marilyn would be a very rich widow upon his death, Marilyn, poor as a church mouse, turns him down again. She wants to make it on her own. She plays many minor and major roles. Fox puts her under contract for 7 years. In 1952, she finally garners attention with Don't Bother to Knock. Then nude photos she had made 3 years earlier when she needed money are suddenly published. Her career is imperiled, but Marilyn goes on the offensive. She publicly confesses her youthful transgression, and the public forgives her. Privately, she is seeing American baseball legend Joe DiMaggio. In 1953, she first plays in Niagara. Then gentlemen prefer blondes. And crowns the year with How to Marry a Millionaire. This is a breakthrough. Critics and public celebrate up-and-coming superstar Marilyn. But the actor is painfully introduced to Hollywood's dark side. While the studio takes in millions with her films, the star earns just $1,250 a week. Despite all her fame and glamour, this experience keeps Marilyn grounded in her personal life. Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe married in 1954. It is an American dream wedding, the baseball star and the actor. Marilyn accepts an invitation to entertain American troops in South Korea during her honeymoon trip to Japan. Her performance before 60,000 GI becomes the stuff of legend. This adoration is what drives her and governs her life. This hunger for recognition. Her husband is not a fan of any of this. He wants a housewife. Marilyn, however, has no intention of playing this role. She films a 7-year Itch in the fall of 1954. Marilyn in her billowing dress becomes a photo of the century, making her world famous, but also signaling the end of her second marriage. DiMaggio is present during filming. In a jealous rage, he becomes violent at the hotel after filming had wrapped. Marilyn files for divorce 2 weeks later. At the end of 1954, Marilyn takes a daring step. She leaves Hollywood and goes to New York. She is fed up with the same old roles, no longer wants to stand in front of the camera as the blonde bombshell. Marilyn attends Lee Strasberg's acting classes and starts undergoing psychoanalysis. She is afraid of ending up in a mental hospital like her mother. Then she drops a bombshell in January 1955. She announces nothing less her emancipation from Hollywood. With Milton Green's assistance, she founds Marilyn Monroe Productions, intending to produce her own films in the future. She had arrived at this decision over time. Her Hollywood film studio is shocked and hits her with everything it has. Negative publicity, suspension, and even threats of a lawsuit. Marilyn is unperturbed. Her lawyers have the better cards, and she knows the studio badly needs its star as a box office draw. In her personal life, Marilyn falls in love with Arthur Miller. The couple will marry in 1956. Marilyn finds a second home at Strasberg's acting studio. Marilyn's acting teacher always had great influence on her, but her relationship with Strasberg's will have the biggest impact. At the end of 1955, 20th Century Fox officially recognizes Marilyn Monroe Productions. Marilyn has done it. She is paid fairly, has artistic say, and can play dramatic roles now too. A remarkable victory over the powerful Hollywood studios, especially for a woman in the 1950s. Marilyn starts filming again. First, she plays the lead in Bus Stop. Then, she produces The Prince and the Showgirl. It is Marilyn Monroe Productions' sole film, but keeps on budget. Rather the exception in Hollywood. The film wins awards in Europe, but fails to live up to expectations in America. In 1959, she plays the female lead in Some Like It Hot. It becomes her biggest hit. She plays the naive blonde so magnificently that she wins the Golden Globe. Miller and Marilyn's marriage is over in 1961. Marital problems have accumulated over years. Miscarriages. Marilyn's long-standing substance abuse and disappointments in each other doom the marriage. Miller writes a role just for Marilyn in The Misfits. Now she finally plays dramatic roles. Marilyn decides to return to California. In the spring of 1962, she buys her first own house in Brentwood, Los Angeles. It will be her last home. In May, she breathlessly sings, "Happy birthday, Mr. President," fueling speculations about an affair. Marilyn enjoyed life and had many men, John F. Kennedy being one of them. 6 weeks before her death, she poses before the camera for Bert Stern. This goes down in history as her last sitting, even though it is not her last sitting at all. Although Marilyn had planned everything more than a year in advance, Bert Stern will market the whole thing as his idea after Marilyn's death. she created herself, the Marilyn Monroe brand. Upon her death, her brand takes on a life of its own. Not only Bert Stern, but also many biographies and documentaries played loose with the truth, using Marilyn Monroe for their own ends. This legendizing is ultimately the cornerstone of her myth, though. Often copied, but never duplicated. She inspired whole generations. Marilyn, the unknown Monroe.